love the song. Kiara, who's with me? Hey, you guys, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the replay viewers. Hello, everybody. Oh, I love that song, you guys. How are you today? Hello, everybody in the Women's Entrepreneur Group. How are you? Welcome, welcome to my live stream. I'm Gina Silvestri, and I love to talk. So usually I do live streams on my personal pages and all my other social medias, and I talk for like an hour or an hour and 20 minutes. So today I'm asking for your patience. So if you are, we have half an hour in this group, right? Hi, you guys. Happy Saturday. Welcome. We have half an hour in this group, which I'm so grateful for. And I don't always get to the comments. So if you leave me comments or you have questions or anything like that, just know that I will be back after, because today my point and my purpose is to give you value. So much value, you guys, so we can all level up and step into the energy of putting money into our bank account by sharing our life stories, right? Hi, Jacquel, welcome. How are you? I couldn't see the actual name there for a minute. So this live stream is all about putting money into your bank account by sharing your life story. And I want to open up today by saying I'm Gina Silvestri. I'm the founder of Life Stories for Success. And I'm going to open up with my story of how I was trying to connect my purpose to money. So if you're watching this, if you were interested in this title, or you said yes to attending my event today, or you're drawn to this at all, then part of your life purpose, part of it could be the whole thing, but at least part of it is you sharing your life story like mine was. And I had no idea. I was really young when I started this journey. I was in my early 20s, and my dream was always to be a writer, right? Hence my business now. I'm 45 now, so this was 24 years ago. I was 21. And I was working at jobs, but I knew in my heart that I was meant to be a writer. And how this relates to you is, even if you had a totally different dream, which of course a lot of people did, but even if you're in your business and you're wanting to make money, you're gonna find after today's live stream, and by the way, I have a huge giveaway and announcement at the end of this. I'm so excited. I'm just tuned into that. I got the download right before the live stream that I'm gonna give something away, something super effective and valuable to achieve this purpose of putting money into your bank account by sharing your life story. Okay, so stay tuned to the end, listen all the way. It's going to involve you putting comments below, and then we're going to go from there, okay? It's a surprise! But so how it relates to you is whether you know you have this life purpose and you just can't connect it to money like I did. That's how my story starts, and I'll continue that in a moment. Or if you are in your business right now and you're just not seeing money, you're going to find that connecting to your purpose, and again, if you're watching this, you know that you're meant to get your life story down on paper, and you're meant to share it with the world, right? So you're going to find that connecting your business to that is going to light it up. And I'm going to explain all of that today. So let me start by sharing my story. And then I'm going to share what the problem is, like why we get into that rigmarole and that vicious circle of not making money or not making the money that we want, and all the stuff that goes along with not sharing your life story, why we don't see money when we don't share our life story. And then I'm going to go into all the ways that you can, which by the way, I put in the description of this live stream today for you, all the different ways that you can, because I want you to have that list. And I also put links that I'll tell you about at the end of the live stream with the surprise, okay? So let's start with my story. So I was really young, and I knew as a little girl, my nonna, I'm Italian for anyone who doesn't know me. Hi everyone, hi Stephanie, welcome. And my nonna, when I was growing up, she used to help me make these little books. I wanted to be an author since I was a little girl. So again, remember when I'm talking, picture your dream, imagine your dream, and we're gonna connect it all and weave it all together and connect it to money today. I'm so excited, okay? So my nonna would help me staple, because I was so young, I could hardly write. At first they were scribbles. She would help me staple my books together and then put my name on the front so I could pretend I was an author, right? And she always wanted to be an author, an opera singer. And so she would sing her music while we were doing this and pretend she was an opera singer. And I would be writing these books. So I always knew it was a dream of mine. And so in my early 20s, I started writing for newsletters. I started writing for women's centers. I started writing for magazines. I started writing other people's stories too. I've always been a ghostwriter since I professionally started writing. But I never saw money from it, you guys. I never saw money from it. I would apply for jobs, for writing jobs back then. This was when the internet was just coming out, by the way. So there wasn't tons of places to go apply. But you know, it was really exclusive, the magazine world and the publishing world in general. You couldn't just pop your book onto Amazon like you can today. And so I just never saw money from it, ever, ever, ever. And I also had a coffee house. I applied, some of you guys know my story because I do live streams here every single week. And just briefly, I applied for a women's grant. If anyone's in British Columbia, Canada, like me, through the Women's Enterprise of Society, I applied for a grant. Again, when I was 21, I was sitting in a pub with my friend Gina, and I just wrote the application for the grant, and you had to tell your story and what you were going to do with the money and how you were going to change the world for women. And I was so passionate. I still am. That's why I wanted to write books, by the way. I always wanted to inspire people and inspire women with my writing in my books. That's what I was imagining as a little girl. Don't ask how or why. It's just what I knew I was meant to do. And so I opened up this, I got the grant. Believe it or not, I was blown away. It was $15,000 that they gave me, and then $15,000 as a loan. So I started this coffee house bookstore. It was a spiritual coffee house bookstore. Again, if anyone's local to me, it was in Maple Ridge, downtown Maple Ridge. I loved it. It was called Cafe Paradiso. And I just poured my self-expression into it, you guys. I wrote articles for newspapers sharing about my business. I brought artists into my business, like singers. I would have band night. I had art all over the walls from local artists, and I helped them to make money by having like these fancy art nights. I just let my creativity pour through. Hint, hint, right? That's my sole purpose. When you're creative and lit up like that and just have something that you can pour into, you know you're aligned with your soul purpose. And this isn't woo-woo, guys, because part of your soul purpose, again, if you're watching this, is to get your life story down on paper. Okay? So it doesn't have to be like that, but you know when you feel lit up regardless of what your purpose is and whether it's similar to mine or not, okay? So I had that business. It started thriving, but ultimately, well, what happened was I love Starbucks, but they did move in close by and shut me down. I survived for 6 months. I was like, had huge smiles on my face when it would get filled. I'd have nights where it was filled. I was on the front page of the paper without me submitting my writing at times too. And it was really amazing. Like the fulfillment when you're in your life purpose is amazing, right? And so I was just like, ah! But it did not ultimately work. Starbucks moved in. I wasn't strong enough. I was very young. I was spending a lot of money that I made on these beautiful urns, and like my cafe was beautiful because I invested a lot of money into things that now, as an entrepreneur 25 years later, I would not be investing in, right? I would be investing in things that bring me a return first before I did that. But it was a beautiful place to be. It just wasn't, I was learning about business. It was beautiful. But it did not ultimately work. So I was in this, hi Daisy, welcome. I was in this rigmarole, like I said, like this vicious circle of just like, oh, I want to do this so bad. I want to do this so bad. I want this to work. I see the vision. I feel pieces of it. I know it lights me up, but where is the money? Right? Like, I need to survive, not just survive. I have things I want to invest in and experience in my life and for my family, my future family, because again, I was 21, and just like be able to pay the rent really and my car and those kinds of things. I was like, how do I do this if there's no money, right? And so what ultimately ended up happening is I got into a career, which I loved. I have a psychology degree, like my background and my passion. I say that because I love learning about people and helping people. And so I had that, and I applied for a position in government where I could do my social work and really care about people. Again, the money wasn't super great, but it was, it was secure and it was there. But there was always this feeling of, it's not your writing, Gina, right? Like, it's not you and like, you being in that bliss and you in your cafe and just like, like I loved helping people. I did a great job. I worked with a lot of teenage moms and teens in crisis and children in crisis, and they would write me letters. Like, still to this day, I'm so appreciative for having that experience. But then, I don't know if you know, but in Canada, social workers are extremely overwhelmed with caseloads. And so all of us did, everyone in the office, we would stay late no matter what. And then I was assigned Canada's second largest murder case. It was a child murder case. And what I did then was I turned into this person who is so far away from my purpose, because like I just said, it was, I was already overloaded with my casework, and then this one just put me over the top. Looking back, I would have said no to this case, because no human could possibly do all of that amount of work and not be affected and traumatized, especially when you're a woman who's in tune and nurturing like I am. It was like really a lot. Right? And I share all of that to say that I ended up gaining 150 pounds from the experience. That's not a typo. 150 pounds I gained after being slim, athletic. I even worked as a fashion model as one of my part-time jobs before I got into that career while I was in university. And so, I was acceptably the right size and the right health in society, period. But this became part of my life story. And this is where I'm going with this, because what I learned through that experience, and this is not to say that being overweight or being 150 pounds or even more than that overweight is wrong or bad. It is what it is. Like, I grew up in an Italian family, a very large Italian family, many, many people in my family. And, I grew up with all kinds of sizes of bodies. And to me, they were always beautiful, like the women in my family. So I actually came from that perspective, and I still hold that perspective so dearly. But for me, being at that weight at 300 pounds was extremely uncomfortable. First of all, I was very young, and it was hard to adjust to not being able to move, not being able to be athletic and free the way I wanted to be, like jogging and dancing like I always used to do. And also with that came depression and other things. And I wrote all about this in my book, Love Yourself Fat. I have a book on Amazon, and it's all about my personal story, okay? And so when I came on to the other side of that experience, and this is where the money comes in, you guys, the money for our business, to support ourselves and our dreams and really help people, okay? That's what the money is about. When I came out onto the other side of that, I was in a position so strong, because I ended up losing the weight in a year and a half. And I came out so strong on the other side that I would never forget what not being aligned with my purpose and listening to my purpose and following it, even though it's scary and I don't see money right away, and going all the way with it, I would never forget the cost of that. And on the other side, hi, Michelle. And on the other side of that, I also experienced, as I got a taste of in my coffee house that I was talking about, it was a coffee house spiritual bookstore. I got a taste of, oh my gosh, this can really thrive financially and at a level where my soul is just like, thriving and singing, right? So I ended up, I started this business, this coaching business, to help women entrepreneurs. That's what it's always been. At first, it was a lot about energy and healing. It started out with a blog. This is how I started expressing my life story, with not realizing what kind of mad success it would create, which is the whole point of this live stream. And so it started out with a blog sharing about what I was eating when I was losing all the weight and maintaining my weight loss. And this is, again, the internet was still pretty new back then. And so I started a blog. I didn't really have a strategy. I didn't have a business strategy. I didn't know what I was doing. I just started a blog, but I was sharing my personal story, you guys. I was sharing bits of it. It was coming out. That was one thing I didn't have when I was writing those articles and when I was in my coffee house, and certainly not when I was in the government career. And so I started sharing from my heart, and immediately, you guys, immediately, and this will happen to you too. Immediately, as soon as I started sharing from my heart and sharing who I was on an authentic level, like, here's me, like, I was used to eating Cheetos and all those other things that I ate when I was depressed. And, they gave me pharmaceuticals because I got post-traumatic stress disorder from that case. And working just like, I was going to say like a dog, like around the clock, like too much for any human, right? And not taking care of myself, not nourishing myself, all of those things. And again, it's all in my book. But I really found that just sharing, like, okay, I'm eating all these vegetables, guys, I'm eating this, and this is what I really want. And then I became known on that blog for making healthy food. And the blog still exists, by the way. It's called The Raw Food Muse, and it's raw vegan food. And there's really good recipes on it, it's still there. And so what I started doing, and I was just being honest, right? I was being me and sharing who I was and where I came from and what happened, but also just sharing like, here's what you can do. And here's what, how you can make, like, because I was having these secret cravings, like I wanted chocolate, I wanted all the things that I was in the habit of eating, but I also wanted my old movement life back and pain-free and diagnosis-free life back. And so I became known for the girl who was making junk food healthy, right? So again, if you go onto the blog, you'll see all the recipes. I'm not going to go into that here. But my point is that when I shut down my expression, when I shut down the connection to my soul, when I shut down what I was born to do because of money, right? And this is normal. A lot of people go through it, but it doesn't have to be. And if you're going through it right now, I want to walk you through because it's really powerful, everything I've learned on the other side. And so when I shut down my expression because of money, and again, like, I've coached a lot of women. You can check out my website. I can put the link. Oh, the link is up there in the comments, actually. If you check out my website, you'll see the success stories there. And I've really coached a lot of women over the years. And some of them had part-time jobs. Some of them, as they were building their business, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I want to make this very clear because I'm not against jobs or anything like that. But for me, I was giving all of my energy, too much energy. I was like enslaved to the work and not honoring my soul and my purpose at all, right? During that process. So when I started this blog, Mamma Mia, the light came back on inside of me. And not only that, 5 years in, I started this business in 2009. 5 years in, I created my first $30,000 sales week, you guys. I didn't even know that was possible for me. I wasn't one of those women who's like, I'm going to go for 30,000 this week or this month. I wasn't. I was just like serving in my purpose, sharing who I was. And to be honest, there's a lot of fear out there about sharing who I was, but it felt so good. It felt really good to show up as me, right? And show up and receive financial support, being me and serving in my life purpose. And again, that's what this live stream is all about. It's how sharing your life story puts money in your bank account. And there's all this other stuff that happens, right? Like, so you never forget, and whatever suffering you went through or whatever story you went through, whatever you went through, right? That makes you want to write your life story down. I don't believe, and that's why I created this company, I don't believe that we go through suffering for nothing. So I believe that our life stories are there to serve others, to give them hope. So people who are moving through the same things that we have moved through, to give them hope, to get through themselves and to validate them, so many things, right? Show them the way, so many beautiful purposes of that. And then also, like I said, to serve us and anything that we do in this alignment with our soul and our passion and our heart and our litness, right? Anything we do is always win-win. That's how you know. It's win-win. So like I said, this experience that I went through helped me to never forget what the cost was, right? And again, we're not perfect. I'm not saying it's black or white and it has to be perfect. No, but I never forget. Like it was an anchor. That whole experience was an anchor for me to never forget what it means to be off purpose and to have an anchor for me to go, oh, I'm going off purpose. I'm going to go this way. Yes, there's fear. Remember, don't listen to the fear. Don't go into another direction because of fear. Stay aligned. So that's a huge gift that this experience gave me. And perhaps whatever your experience is, you can see that it gave you that too. And the financial rewards, because since that $30,000 week, there's been like $8,000 days, $1,000 days, like all kinds of beautiful receiving from doing my purpose work in the world. All because I shared that life story, starting with that blog and now to my book on Amazon. It's just grown and grown and grown and blossomed in this beautiful way. And healed so many things, right? This is the other benefit. As we're writing, as we're getting it down on paper, we heal so much within ourselves. We integrate so much within ourselves. Like I integrated that experience and just felt so alive and on purpose and like validated and detached from any of the stuff. I'm going to call it stuff, the mental and emotional stuff. I call them the invisibles actually with my clients and my students. And really it's that stuff that keeps us, trapped in jobs that we don't like and saying yes to things like that overwhelm us, that overload us and completely burn us out and keep us completely away from our life's purpose. Hi, Pamela, welcome. And so there's the financial, like I said, the financial success, and not to mention the most beautiful part that you can't put a price on, and that's seeing you and your clients succeed. Right? Really succeed and thrive. So I just realized the time. I'm going to start flying through the next part here. But really, of course, that's the obvious part. Like fulfillment, being uplifted, being in joy, feeling free. That's what we all want. And that comes when we tune into our life story. And you can see from my story, my example, how it emerges and allows you to get to that place. By sharing, okay? Because what is the real problem? Like I said, I was going to talk about that. What is the real problem behind not having money and not sharing your life story? Well, money comes from people. Money comes from people. And people remember stories. They remember us. Like, have you ever been to a huge speaking event? And some of the speakers, you're just like, like, I can't sit through this anymore. I remember I had a sociology professor in university who was like that. I couldn't. It was also 8:30 in the morning, but I was just like, there's nothing here. Like, I can't connect. People love stories. We remember stories. So think of the speakers that you remember. Even if you watch TED Talks from home now, the ones who share their heart and share their vulnerability and share their story, those are the ones you remember. And those are the stories that heal. And again, that goes to why I started this company. Our stories heal the world. They do. They heal the world because we connect, we show up, we validate and honor what we went through and our purpose, and we connect it all together, and that's how we get here, okay? So I listed all the ways that you can share your life story in the description of this live stream. It's the social media posts, the blog posts, the live or non-live videos, in your bio on your website, and in your bio anywhere. Like if you have articles written for you or you write articles yourself, there's a bio line that you get at the bottom. And on stage, speaking events, magazine articles, guest blogs, the whole list is there. There's so many ways that you can do this, even in a sentence, you guys. This is the biggest gift I can give you. Even in a sentence, you can share and create this effect. Hi, River, welcome. You can create this effect, this powerful bonding connect. Success is created when we bond to other people to help them, right? Money comes from people. This is about relationships, serving from our soul, serving from what we know we're meant to do. And you could be at any part in the process, like I shared at the beginning. You could be at the part where you're just like, come on, I got to pay my bills. Let's get on with this. Or I want to see this thrive. Like whatever part you're at, it all comes together with this. So how sharing your life story with the world puts money in your bank account is really connecting to people, to helping them. They won't forget you. And when they don't forget you by, again, reading all of this about you and hearing your story in different lengths, right? All over the internet, all over your business. When they don't forget you, they tell other people about you. They think of you as soon as the problem or the business that you have, the problem you solve in your business comes up, they think of you. They never forget you, so they sign up for your email list instead of just flipping right past you, right? Scrolling right past, like, bye, right? They remember you. You begin to anchor yourself in the world and make an imprint. And that is how success is created. Success is created by helping people in a meaningful way, but we have to connect to them first. We have to connect to them first. And from time immemorial, we have been sharing stories as human beings, sharing life stories, and people remember stories, period. And especially now during this global pandemic, I'm not going to go on a huge tangent, but we need each other. We need to hear our stories of thriving right now and what's possible, right? And overcoming, and also just validating each other's pain with what we're going through. But of course, when we write our life story, we want to write it in an empowered way so that we can actually help people and bring them, hold a strong enough container in our words and in our book to bring us over to the other side. Okay, you guys? So now I want to share about the giveaway thing. So I have this group. If you want to do this work with me, I have this group. It's called Life Story Success Superstars. I created this about 2.5 months ago, and the women in there are incredible. My internet just caked up for a minute. What I do, sorry you guys, what I do is every day I show up on a live stream and we write together. Because I thought to myself, what is the greatest gift I could give to my people to help them to experience this, right? The money, the sharing, the feeling confident, the actual doing. Because none of this, everything I've talked about in this live stream, no money will go into your bank account. None of this will happen until you get your story done. And there's so many blocks. And if you're new to me, search me in this group. You'll find all kinds of free information, all kinds of masterclasses and trainings I've done that share how to get through the blocks, right? But it's only when we actually sit down and write and get that story done and play with like, okay, how would it feel in a sentence? And by the way, my sentence for the longest time, I didn't share this, was Gina created a $30,000 sales week in her business while sleeping on her ex-boyfriend's floor. That's the truth, right? I didn't go into it here, but I will be going into it in this month's masterclass. And there's another one. Hi. I think I already said hi, Pamela. You pop back on. Sorry, I got kicked off the internet for a second. And so, it's really, you can do this in a punchy, powerful way and still, of course, always tell the truth. And that's the truth. And I'm going to be sharing that. And so in my Life Story Success membership group, we write together every single day. And as soon as you join, I give you the tools that you need to break through anything that's stopping you from writing when you come sit down with us. You have them always. And this membership group is open 24/7, obviously. It's a Facebook group. So you can go in anytime, and as soon as you go in, there are 25, you guys, 25 inspiring, motivating, light your fire videos that are short. So they're 5 to 8 minutes, even though I like to talk, like I said at the beginning. I made these punchy and short. There's 25 of them already there for you to just go and play and listen to and dive in. And then a lot of people, not a lot, but some of the women in the group, they're amazing. They use the replays too. I leave the replays up. So if you can't make it at the exact time or you just want to do it on your own time, you can actually write with me on the replay. And we literally just sit there and write. We get it done. So I've created this loving, accountable container for you to come into. You also have a Q&A post. So you can pop any questions you have. And once a month I come in live and I answer all the questions. It's like having a coach in your pocket. And you also get a masterclass, an exclusive masterclass in that group. And it's every single month for that too. So you can also purchase the masterclass, by the way, on its own for $33. But the group itself is $297. And today I'm going to give away 3 spaces. So if you're interested in trying out my group, by the way, even if you joined and didn't win, it's an open door policy. So I trust you to decide and know for yourself when you're good, when you're, fulfilled with the group, and when you want to stay. That's totally up to you. I don't hold anybody like you have to stay here, right? But today I'm going to give away those spaces. So put an emoji below. Let me know, yes, I want in, I want to win, whatever you want to say. Put a dancing emoji, just put an emoji so I know that you want to be entered to win. And everybody else, so normally the cost is $297 for 1 month. And again, you can stay. My internet just kicked out again. You can stay and renew, or you can just stay for 1 month and try it. Maybe you just want to get your about page done. This would be a great, warm, loving, accountable way, right? To get in and get it done and write with us every day, Monday to Friday. And so everybody else is going to get a link, and I'm not a high pressure salesperson at all, you guys. So I will just send you the link. Everybody else who puts their emojis and everything else down below, whether you're watching the replay or live, by the way, will get a link to join for $150 too. So there will be the winners, but then there will be the other people who get in for that. So I was just feeling so generous, and I'm just so passionate, you guys, about sharing and really getting this message across and giving you the experience of having daily micro movements, right? Daily micro movements. They're powerhouse 15-minute sessions. That's it. 15-minute sessions. Yay, River! Yay! That's awesome. Pamela, what is your group called again? Life Story Success Superstars. So if you look in the description of this live stream, just click on the link and you'll see my whole website. You can read my about me, you can read all of that, and you can check it out. It says right there, Gina's online writing group. Okay, you guys, so I just saw the time. I am gonna go. I believe I covered everything. I love you. Thank you for joining. Remember, if you have comments or questions, just pop them here. I'm going to be on top of this. I'm always on top of my posts, so I'm available. And if you want to win, pop your emoji in below, because then I'll just, again, I'm not a high pressure salesperson. I'll just pop in your inbox and give you the link. And I'll let you know below so you know that it's in your inbox when it's there. Okay, you guys, I love you. Thank you for joining me. And don't forget, connecting to that piece is everything. It's the core of success, and amalgamates everything together and puts those dollar bills in your bank account. I love you. I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.